Alex sat in the quiet glow of the research station, the hum of machinery filling the otherwise empty room. Outside the viewport, the alien planet stretched into endless plains of violet sand, lit faintly by a distant sun that shimmered across the horizon. He had been working for hours, repairing a communication relay that had gone offline during the last storm. The work was tedious but necessary. Messages from Earth depended on it. The station, though technologically advanced, often felt lonely. Most of the human crew had gone to rest, leaving Alex to handle the technical repairs alone. The silence pressed on him like a physical weight, broken only by the occasional metallic clang of his tools. He wiped the sweat from his brow and leaned back in his chair, staring at the blinking lights of the control panel. Suddenly, the door to his quarters slid open with a soft hiss. Alex froze. Visitors at this hour were rare. Even the other humans usually knocked. But this wasn't a human. It was a tall figure with luminous skin and eyes that shimmered with golden light. She wore a flowing robe that glimmered faintly, the colors shifting subtly as she moved. She stepped in without hesitation, her presence commanding yet oddly graceful. "Hello," she said in a soft, melodic voice. "I hope I am not disturbing you." Alex blinked, unsure whether to react with caution or curiosity. Who are you?" he asked, standing slowly. "And how did you—" "I am Lyra," she interrupted gently. "I've been observing humans for some time. Your species fascinates me. I wanted to see you up close." Alex's mind raced. Observation? Fascination? He had read reports about alien visitors, but he had never imagined one would appear inside his private quarters. "Observation? You mean like spying?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Lyra tilted her head, her expression calm. "I do not intend harm. In my culture, visiting someone's personal space is a sign of trust. I wish to learn about your behavior in a natural setting. Your solitude, your rituals, it intrigues me." She moved further into the room and, with an almost casual motion, sat on the edge of his bed. Alex froze again, his mind struggling to process the situation. To humans, this would have been awkward. To Lyra, it was normal. She was attempting to communicate through a cultural act that humans often misunderstood. He forced himself to breathe. "Okay," he said slowly. I guess it's fine, as long as you don't break anything." Lyra's lips curved into a faint smile. "I would not. I wish only to understand." Alex nodded, feeling both nervous and curious. "All right. Then you want to learn about humans, huh? Well, it's not all exciting. We eat, we sleep, we work. Most of it is pretty boring." Lyra leaned forward, her eyes attentive. "That is precisely why it fascinates me. How a species with such simple daily routines can survive in a universe so vast and dangerous. I wish to understand." For the next several minutes, Alex found himself explaining the small details of human life. How humans slept, how they ate, how they communicated, even how they dealt with loneliness. Lyra listened intently, her head tilted in curiosity. At times, she asked questions that Alex had never considered, like why humans found comfort in repetition, or why privacy mattered so much. He realized that talking to her was unlike speaking with any human colleague. Her perspective was completely alien, yet it illuminated aspects of humanity he had taken for granted. Then, the station alarm began to beep sharply. Alex froze, and Lyra's eyes flicked toward the console. The display showed an incoming asteroid storm, far larger than any recent ones. Alex's heart raced. The relay repairs he had been performing were critical. The storm could sever communication with Earth if he didn't act fast. "We must stabilize the station," Alex said quickly, motioning toward the control panel. "I need to finish these repairs or the storm will—it will—" Lyra rose from the bed with surprising speed. I can assist, she said. Her voice held a note of urgency. Alex watched as she moved to the machinery, her hands glowing faintly as she interfaced with the station's controls. He realized then that Lyra wasn't just curious, she was capable, and her abilities went beyond human technology. Together, they worked frantically. Alex recalibrated circuits and tightened connections, while Lyra rerouted energy flows and reinforced the station's shields. The hum of machinery grew louder as the storm approached, each thrum of energy a reminder of the danger outside. Sparks flew from one of the exposed panels, and Alex yelped, ducking just in time. Lyra's eyes narrowed, and with a wave of her hand, a beam of energy sealed the panel instantly. Alex couldn't help but stare. You can do that?" he asked, awe in his voice. Lyra smiled faintly. "Your species relies on tools and manual labor. I rely on my abilities, which are natural to me. Together, we are more efficient." Time seemed to blur as they worked side by side. The asteroid storm hit the station with a deafening roar, shaking the structure violently. Dust and debris rattled the floors, and alarms flashed in warning. Yet Alex and Lyra remained focused, a silent understanding forming between them. Despite the chaos, a bond was forming, not of romance or desire, but of respect, trust, and mutual reliance. Finally, after what felt like hours, the storm began to subside. The alarm systems quieted, and the station's hull shuddered one last time before settling into calm. Alex sank into his chair, exhausted, sweat streaking his face. Lyra hovered nearby, her expression serene yet alert. "You humans are remarkable," she said softly. "Despite your fragility, you possess courage and ingenuity. I had underestimated your species." Alex wiped his forehead and gave a tired chuckle. "Well, we try our best. Most of the time it's luck more than anything." Lyra shook her head. "It is more than luck. You adapt. You endure. You think in ways even advanced species struggle to anticipate. That is what fascinates me." Alex felt a warmth of pride mixed with surprise. He had never thought of humans as extraordinary, at least not on the galactic scale. Yet here was Lyra, an alien of considerable power and knowledge, telling him otherwise. He realized that her presence, bold and unexpected, had offered him a new perspective. Humanity, through his own actions and perseverance, had earned recognition from an outsider. For a long moment, they simply sat in the calm aftermath, listening to the hum of the station's restored systems. Alex noticed details he had never paid attention to before: the subtle glow of Lyra's skin, the gentle rhythm of her breathing, the faint shimmer of her robe even in the dim light. He didn't feel threatened or uncomfortable. Instead, he felt an odd sense of companionship, a connection that transcended species. "I should go," Lyra finally said, her voice quiet but firm. "I will return later. There is much I wish to learn and much I must observe. But tonight, you have proven that humans are capable of more than I imagined." Alex nodded, feeling a strange mix of relief and curiosity. "Yeah, I guess so. And, thanks for your help. I couldn't have done it alone." Lyra inclined her head slightly, a gesture of acknowledgement. Without another word, she stepped toward the door. Before leaving, she glanced back at him. "Remember, Alex, strength is not only in your technology or weapons. It is in your mind, your courage, and your willingness to face the unknown. That is why humans endure." Then she was gone. The door slid shut behind her, leaving Alex alone once more. The silence returned, but it felt different this time. It was not oppressive or lonely. It was a silence filled with possibility, with lessons learned, and with the promise that the universe held more wonders than he could imagine. Alex leaned back in his chair, staring out at the alien landscape beyond the viewport. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to not only survive but to excel. Humanity, he realized, had strengths that even the most advanced species might underestimate. And somewhere out there, Lyra would continue to watch, learning, and perhaps learning to admire, what it truly meant to be human. As the night stretched on, Alex worked on his repairs once more, but now with a new sense of clarity. The universe was vast, dangerous, and full of mysteries. Yet he no longer felt insignificant. For the first time, he understood that humans, though fragile, could stand alongside the stars. And perhaps, through courage, ingenuity, and an open mind, they could shape the future in ways even aliens could not predict. The storm had passed, leaving the alien planet bathed in a soft violet glow. The air outside was thick with dust, and the distant mountains shimmered faintly under the twin moons. Inside the station, Alex moved carefully through the corridors, checking each system to ensure nothing had been damaged. Despite the calm, his mind kept drifting back to Lyra. She had left without warning, yet her presence lingered in the room like a subtle echo, reminding him of both the danger he had faced and the strange bond they had begun to form. Hours later, as he sat repairing the final circuits, the door slid open once more. Alex looked up, startled, and then relaxed as he saw Lyra standing there. She had returned, her golden eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. "I thought you might need assistance," she said simply, stepping inside. Her robe shimmered like liquid light as she moved with effortless grace. Alex wiped his hands on a rag and nodded. "Yeah. Actually, I could use help double-checking the sensor arrays. Some readings are still off from the storm." Lyra approached the console and examined the data. Her fingers moved in the air, adjusting controls without touching the buttons, her abilities allowing her to interface directly with the station's systems. Alex watched in amazement. She corrected the misalignments in minutes, stabilizing the station's sensors far more efficiently than he could have done alone. "You humans rely too much on physical tools," Lyra remarked. "Your technology is advanced, but you could learn to integrate more with your surroundings, as we do." Alex shrugged, smiling wryly. "We get by. We adapt with what we have." Lyra tilted her head, her expression thoughtful. "Adaptation. That is your strength. Even when your environment is hostile, even when your resources are limited, you find solutions. That is why your species survives where others would fail." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Hearing this from a being so powerful, so alien, made him realize that humans were more extraordinary than he had ever acknowledged. But he didn't have time to dwell on that feeling. The station's sensors indicated a new anomaly, a small rogue asteroid hurtling toward the planet at high speed. Unlike the storm, this one would strike directly near the research station if left unchecked. "We have to act," Alex said, grabbing a toolkit. "If this asteroid hits too close, it could damage the station and, well, it could be catastrophic." Lyra nodded. "I will assist. Your species values physical action. I will complement it with my abilities." They worked together once more, moving through the corridors to secure the station's external shields and internal systems. Alex handled the mechanical adjustments, while Lyra projected energy fields to reinforce the hull. The asteroid's approach was relentless, and for the first time, Alex understood the difference between human ingenuity and alien capability. He marveled at how they could work as a team, each compensating for the other's limitations. As the asteroid struck near the station, the ground shook violently. Lights flickered and alarms blared, but the combined efforts of human and alien ingenuity held the station intact. Alex felt the tremors beneath his feet and realized that their survival had depended on mutual trust. Without Lyra, he might have failed. Without him, her abilities alone would not have been enough to stabilize the station. When the chaos subsided, Alex sank to the floor, exhausted. Lyra hovered nearby, unscathed, her calm presence a stark contrast to the human fatigue surrounding her. "You performed well," she said softly. "Your species is remarkable. Even under extreme pressure, you maintain focus and ingenuity. That is a rare quality." Alex smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Thanks. I guess we humans aren't so bad after all." Lyra's gaze softened. "You are more than not bad. You are exceptional. I have observed many species, but humans have resilience, creativity, and courage. You endure what others cannot. That is why you matter in the galaxy." For a moment, they simply sat in silence, the hum of the restored systems filling the space. Alex realized that something had changed between them. The initial curiosity had evolved into admiration, respect, and an unspoken bond that transcended species. He thought about how Lyra had entered his quarters boldly, how she had trusted him without fear, and how their combined efforts had saved the station. Humans and aliens could coexist and even excel together. Days passed, and Lyra continued her observations, often joining Alex during his work. She learned about human routines, humor, and the small joys that made life meaningful. In turn, Alex learned about alien culture, their philosophy, and their remarkable abilities. Through each interaction, the HFY theme grew stronger. Humanity, while physically weaker than many alien species, possessed qualities that were unmatched in creativity, courage, and adaptability. One evening, while monitoring the station's exterior sensors, a new challenge arose. A signal from a nearby sector indicated a stranded alien vessel emitting distress signals. The vessel belonged to Lyra's species, and she recognized it immediately. Alex watched as her eyes flickered with concern. "They are in trouble," she said. "I must help them. But the distance and conditions are dangerous. Alone, I may fail." Alex stepped forward, determination in his voice. "Then we'll do it together. Humans can adapt to danger. We can handle this." Lyra regarded him silently, then nodded. Together, they prepared the station's shuttle for departure. Alex double-checked the engines while Lyra interfaced with alien navigation systems, ensuring the safest path to the stranded vessel. As they launched into the purple skies of the alien planet, the stars stretched out before them, a reminder of how vast and unpredictable the universe could be. The journey was perilous. Meteor fields and gravitational anomalies threatened to pull them off course, but Alex's quick thinking and Lyra's abilities kept the shuttle on track. They worked in harmony, exchanging ideas and adjusting to the challenges of space travel. Alex realized that this partnership was more than survival. It was a demonstration of what humans could achieve when combined with alien knowledge and trust. Upon reaching the distressed vessel, they found it badly damaged, drifting near a meteor cluster. Alien crew members were trapped inside, unable to repair the critical systems. Lyra extended her energy to stabilize the vessel temporarily, while Alex coordinated mechanical repairs. Slowly, the ship's systems flickered back to life. The alien crew, initially wary, realized that a human had been instrumental in saving them. Their expressions shifted from fear to awe. Lyra glanced at Alex, her golden eyes reflecting a mixture of pride and gratitude. "You have exceeded all expectations," she said quietly. "Not only have you helped me, but you have proven that humans are capable of extraordinary feats." Alex felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had never imagined that a human could gain such recognition from an alien species, let alone save their lives. In that moment, he understood the essence of HFY. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and adaptability were qualities that could stand alongside any advanced civilization. The return journey to the station was quieter, filled with reflection. Alex and Lyra spoke of future possibilities, shared exploration, mutual learning, and the promise of continued collaboration. Lyra had come to see humans not as fragile beings, but as worthy partners capable of facing the unknown. Alex, in turn, had gained a renewed sense of purpose and pride in his species. Back at the station, they watched the alien planet settle into the calm of night. The twin moons reflected off the violet sands, and for a moment, the universe seemed to pause. Alex realized that humanity's strength was not in weapons or technology alone, but in the human spirit, the creativity, courage, and adaptability that allowed them to survive and thrive against all odds. Lyra turned to him once more. "I will continue my observations," she said, "but now with a new perspective. Humans are not only survivors, they are remarkable, and I am honored to witness your world firsthand." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. "And I'm glad you're here. Together, I think we can face whatever the universe throws at us." As the night deepened, the station hummed with life, a symbol of cooperation between species, of shared courage, and of the extraordinary potential of humanity. Alex understood, finally, that humans had something no other species could replicate, a combination of heart, mind, and courage that could endure beyond the stars. And somewhere out there, Lyra would continue to learn, to observe, and perhaps to admire the species that had survived where others might have failed. The future was uncertain, the universe vast, but Alex felt ready. For the first time, he realized that humanity's true strength lay not only in survival, but in the ability to inspire respect, trust, and hope, even among the most advanced alien civilizations. And as he watched Lyra fade from view toward her own journey, he knew that this was only the beginning of something far greater, a partnership that could redefine the very meaning of human potential.